I think we have very few days left in the fall that are halfway decent. Today is supposed to get up to 65 or something like that. So I'm gonna take a run at installing the Nerf bars. I've got everything laid out and I'm gonna give it a go. The instructions say this is a 2-person job right there, but I think I'm gonna give it a run on my own. I've got my jack, got my clamps, I've got some boards, I've got my creeper, and most of all I've got the Nerf bar out there. The reason why I want to get this Nerf bar in is because I actually want to install the water tank after the Nerf bar is installed. So I'm going to give it a run and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Well, between a jack and a stack of boards, I actually have this, and one clamp, I have this sitting in place. And underneath it looks like it aligns to everything. So honestly, I'm gonna screw it in. I mean, this took me like 5 minutes. So I don't know, I'm gonna screw it in. That'll probably be the hard part now that I've said all this. Let's get busy. These are the instructions, and I would say they're not great. A lot of people refer to the videos online. I've watched those over and over, but to me it boils down to about 4 or 5 steps. You clamp the rear, and I'll show you that. Then you mount the front. Then there's they call it a pinch weld, and that's right up in here, and I'll show you that too. It's right under the gas line. Mount that, and then we mount the rear, and then there's one more mount, the center mount. So those are the 5 main things that we're going to be doing here. Might have to drill some holes. We've got all of our bolts and self-tapping screws, clamps, cardboard out so we can slide easily. I do have my creeper. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that, but let's take a look under the van and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Before I go under the van, I'm going to tell you that I watched 2 videos, and one of them honestly kind of scared the hell out of me. It was this couple who tried to mount their Nerf bars and they couldn't get it done. They drilled all these holes in the van and finally had to hire somebody professionally to do it. I will not link to their video, but then I found this other guy who had this short, like 11-minute video, and it was pretty helpful. He made some mistakes too, which, you know, in turn are going to help me. But I'm going to make a video while I'm doing this too, because I didn't find a lot of videos out there about installing these Nerf bars. And like I said, the one big concern for me was I want to make sure that they fit with my gray water tank. So that's why I'm starting with the driver's side. I want to get this one done and then make sure that my gray water tank still fits underneath there. So let me show you underneath the van now. We'll take a look. Okay, this is the rear bracket. And what's really key is it goes on the outside of this. So you mount it on the inside of the bracket and then it fits on the outside. This is like only a 1/4 inch or something, but you got to have these things in the right place. There's two holes. You only put in the first screw because when you're all done, you're going to use the second one to align the bracket. You're going to, you know, push or pull this in or out as it needs to be, and then you'll screw a hole and put that one in later. So first step was just to, I've got a clamp in here you can see, and I'm just holding that in place. Now if we scooch under the front end, let's go. Got our jack there. We get underneath here. This, if I can get my arms underneath here, this is the pinch weld that they're talking about, and it's one on both sides, and there's a little lip, and this is going to just pinch right up to that and hold that in place. This is the center mount, and what's key here is it has to be right within this little step. So you put your self-tapping screws in here. We have one more right here, which is the same thing, so it snugs up under this step. There we go, and you can see right now I've got a gap there. See this gap? So I'm going to have to push that over so that's snug up against there. That's kind of it. So anyway, I'm going to get started drilling all these self-tapping screws and bolts in. Wish me luck. I didn't expect this, but I am claustrophobic. I've had a couple episodes in my life. One of them was when we were on a catamaran cruise and we had this little bunk room and I couldn't sleep in it. And now, stupid of all stupid, I'm having some issues going underneath the van. So stupid. But I think I'm gonna have a drink of water and just get my brain under control and get this done. That is just so stupid, but I did it. I got under there and that one is in. Crazy, just crazy. Now that I've got the running boards mostly mounted, I put it up on the ramp so I can get a little bit of height, and I'll finish the installation that way. Just give me a little more room. Oh, that's so much better. Wow. Not to mention how cool they look too, eh? Oh, that's so great. Yeah, they look good. Now it's 3 o'clock. You know how short the days are here forward, but that was good work for today. I think tomorrow's supposed to be another nice day. I think I'll wait and put the other one on tomorrow. Yeah, that's good. Good job, Emily. And after doing that install, I can tell that the water tank that I bought is going to fit without, there's not going to be any issues. So that is load off. Load off. It's another beautiful fall day, clear blue sky. Let's see if we can get side number 2 Nerf bar installed. Got everything ready to go here, so we're gonna get going and just knock it out. Because the bar is so long on this one and there's only this space to really go under the van, I did put the van up on my ramps. It's just too tight for me to go under there, so I'm gonna go ahead and start mounting, and we'll do adjustments as we go, but this seems like it's working out pretty well too. Here's what I've been working on. This is the pinch weld. It's really difficult. I found, well, on the other side, my gas line came down here and there was a cover over it. So this one I was able to get 2 mounts in. You're supposed to do 4. And then down there, what you do, same thing right here, is you put your 2 tap screws in, and then the next thing we're gonna do is drill a hole in here through this so that we're mounting into this. And you have to be careful not to drill in too high. You have to, or too low. You want to get right in the center of that. So that is it. I have to drill 2 holes into that one, 2 holes into this one, and then we'll mount the rear bracket. And then you come back and you drill holes for these, to hold that steady. So the next thing I'm going to do, and this is actually a lot of work, is just drilling the holes through there. So I've got 4 of them I've got to get in. That's my next step. Almost exactly 2 hours to the minute, and I am done with side number 2, and I love it. It looks so good. I haven't tried it out yet, but hopefully it's solid. Yeah, nice. So I did, as I said, I put the van up on the ramps. That helped a lot. But yeah, I love these. It's going to just be so much easier getting in and out of the van. And I would definitely say, for anybody who's thinking about trying this themselves, you can do it by yourself. You saw me, I just stacked up a couple piles of wood and I used my car jack, because that's all I own. And the other thing that I would say is a good drill bit makes a huge amount of difference. I was working with one that was pretty rough, and I pulled out my better bits. I pulled out my better bits, which is my Milwaukee set. They're cobalt, and they made easy work of drilling through the aluminum and the metal in the van. So that's my main tip. And I did not use that at all. Laying on the cardboard and sliding in and out was good enough for me. That adds too much height, so it was perfect just laying on the cardboard. I want to show you this. This is the pinch weld on the driver's side. And in the videos I watched, nobody had this cover. This cover goes over my gasoline pipe. Nobody had this cover on there. So That might be something that you run into. What I had to do is just get some longer bolts, and you can see I left the cover on. I looked at taking it off, but I did leave it on, and then I just ran 2 bolts over here, and I was able to get one in over here. So that was one unique thing that, you know, I ran up against. Everything else was pretty much per the instructions. I think it's time to check in on our board. Install Nerf bars, done.